Have you ever wondered why JavaScript is so important in programming? It's a question that's been asked time and again, and today we're going to delve into it. JavaScript is more than just a programming language. It's a cornerstone of the digital world as we know it. It's like the secret sauce that brings websites to life, adding interactivity, responsiveness, and a whole lot of dynamism. From online games and interactive web forms to real-time data updates and animation, JavaScript is the engine that powers them all. What sets JavaScript apart from other programming languages is its versatility. It's a language that can be utilized on both the client side and server side of web development. This means it's possible to write both front-end code, which deals with the elements of a website that a user interacts with, and back-end code, which deals with the server and database operations, all in JavaScript. This flexibility makes it a one-stop shop for web developers. Moreover, JavaScript plays a pivotal role in web development. It's one of the three core technologies of the World Wide Web alongside HTML and CSS. While HTML provides the structure of a web page and CSS styles it, JavaScript makes it interactive. Without JavaScript, our web experience would be static and frankly quite dull. But it's not just about web development. JavaScript's reach extends far beyond. It's used in game development, mobile app development, and even in building robotics. It's a language that's continually evolving, with new libraries and frameworks being released regularly, which further enhances its capabilities. And let's not forget about its wide usage in the industry. According to the Stack Overflow Developer Survey of 2023, JavaScript is the most commonly used programming language for the 8th year running. That alone speaks volumes about its importance. So JavaScript is not just another programming language, it's a crucial tool for modern web development and beyond. Its versatility, wide usage, and dominance in web development make it an indispensable part of the programming world. And that, folks, is why JavaScript is so important in programming. Now that we know why JavaScript is important, it's time to dive into the basics. Let's start with the structure of a JavaScript program. You can think of it as a recipe. Just as a recipe contains a list of ingredients and instructions, a JavaScript program contains variables and operations. Variables are the ingredients. They hold the data that we want to work with, like numbers, text, or more complex types of data. And just like in a recipe, we can combine these variables in many ways to create a variety of results. There are several types of variables in JavaScript. We have numbers, which can be whole numbers or decimals, and we have strings, which are sequences of characters enclosed in quotes. For instance, the phrase "hello world" is a string. We also have booleans, which can be either true or false. And then there are more complex data types, like objects and arrays, but we'll get into those in another chapter. All these variables are manipulated using operators. Operators are the instructions of our recipe. They perform actions on our variables, like adding two numbers together or concatenating, which is a fancy word for joining two strings. Here's an example. Let's say we have two variables, a and b, which are both numbers. If we use the addition operator plus, we can add a and b together. So if a is 3 and b is 4, a plus b would give us 7. In the same way, if we have two strings, hello and world, we can use the concatenation operator plus to join them together into hello world. But remember, just like in a recipe, the order in which you combine your ingredients can dramatically change the outcome. So pay attention to how you structure your operations. With these fundamentals, you have the building blocks of JavaScript programming. Moving a step further, let's understand the concept of JavaScript functions. A function is a block of reusable code that performs a specific task. Functions are the building blocks of readable, maintainable, and reusable code. You can think of a function as a machine in a factory. It takes in raw materials, inputs or arguments, processes them according to a specific recipe, the function's code, and spits out a finished product, the return value. Now, how do we declare a function in JavaScript? There are a couple of ways to do this, but we'll focus on the most common one, the function declaration. Picture this: you write the word function, followed by a name that you choose. This name should be descriptive, giving an indication of what the function does. Next, you have parentheses, where you can place any parameters your function might need. Finally, you have curly braces. Inside these braces, you write the code that your function will execute. Here's a quick example. Imagine we're creating a function to calculate the area of a rectangle. We could declare it like this: function calculate area, length, width. Inside the curly braces, we would write return length asterisk width. This function takes in two parameters, the length and the width, and returns their product, which is the area of the rectangle. Now, why are functions so important? Functions allow us to write cleaner and more efficient code. Instead of writing the same code multiple times, we can define a function once and then invoke it wherever we need it. Functions also allow us to encapsulate complex operations and logic, making our code easier to read and understand. Remember the rectangle area function? We can use it anytime we need to calculate the area of a rectangle. We just call calculate area, pass in our length and width, and it returns the area for us. No need to remember the formula or write out the calculation each time. Functions are like the workhorses of JavaScript, doing the heavy lifting in our programs. Ready to see JavaScript in action? Let's code a simple program. Let's start with a blank canvas. The first thing we need to do is open up a text editor. Anything that can save plain text will work, from Notepad to Sublime Text. Now we'll create a new file and save it with AJ as extension. This tells our computer that what we're writing is, indeed, JavaScript. We'll start with a simple Hello World program. This is a time-honored tradition in learning any new programming language. It's a simple way to see if everything is working correctly. First we'll write console.log, which is a function that outputs any text that follows it in the parentheses. So we'll write console.log, hello world. Don't forget the semicolon at the end. It's like a period in a sentence, signaling the end of a statement. Next, we'll save our file. Now to run this program, we'll open up our browser's developer console. This is a tool that comes built into every modern web browser, and it's where JavaScript lives. We'll open the console, click on the console tab, and then we'll load our JS file by clicking on the load script button. When we click run, our console will display, hello world. And just like that, we've written and run our first JavaScript program. But that's just the beginning. With JavaScript, we can do a lot more than just print text. We can interact with web pages, making them dynamic and responsive. We can fetch data from servers, create animations, build games, and a whole lot more. We can even use JavaScript to build complex web applications, thanks to powerful libraries and frameworks like React and Angular. By now, you should be getting a sense of why JavaScript is so widely used. It's not just a language, it's a tool that allows us to create interactive, dynamic, and engaging web experiences. There you have it, a simple JavaScript program demonstrating the power and simplicity of this language. We've covered a lot today, so let's quickly recap. JavaScript, a language that started out as a simple tool for making web pages interactive, has grown into a powerful force in the world of programming. It's become an integral part of the web as we know it, shaping the way we interact with websites and web applications. We dove into the basics of JavaScript, unmasking the fundamental concepts that make this language tick. Variables, data types, operators, loops, and conditional statements. These building blocks enable programmers to create dynamic, interactive experiences on the web. We also explored how JavaScript is an object-oriented language, meaning it's all about objects, collections of data and functions that can be manipulated and interacted with. Then we highlighted the pivotal role of JavaScript functions. As reusable pieces of code, functions make programming more efficient and manageable. Whether it's a simple function that adds two numbers together, or a more complex one that manipulates data, JavaScript functions are a testament to the language's versatility and power. We also saw JavaScript in action, demonstrating how the language can be used to create dynamic and interactive web pages. Whether it's form validation, creating sliders, or manipulating the document object model, JavaScript's capabilities are only limited by the imagination of the programmer. So, what's the takeaway here? JavaScript is more than just a programming language, it's a tool that can transform static web pages into interactive, engaging, and user-friendly experiences. It's a testament to the creativity and innovation that's possible in the world of programming. The journey to mastering JavaScript is a rewarding one. It's a journey filled with challenges, breakthroughs, and a whole lot of learning. But at the end of the day, it's a journey that can open up a world of opportunities. Remember, JavaScript is a powerful tool in programming. Understanding it and harnessing its power can open up a world of opportunities.